Hello and welcome. Although Swedish death cleaning sounds like a crazy topic to start with, trust me when I say that this will most likely apply to 99% of you, new and old teachers alike. If you do find this topic interesting or helpful and you want to see more videos as they come out, please click the like, subscribe, and notification buttons below. Also comments are welcome. I would love feedback on my videos or suggestions for future topics. A little background. What is Swedish death cleaning? Margareta Magnusson wrote a book called The Gentle Art of Swedish Death Cleaning, and it was published in 2018. It explains the concept of dostadning, and I probably said that wrong, I apologize. This is the practice of clearing out unnecessary belongings so that those left behind when you pass don't have to deal with all of your stuff. This is a common practice in Sweden, and although it may sound morbid to those not familiar with the concept, it really is something beautiful. You have time to look at all of your possessions and revisit the memories associated with them. You also have the chance to find healing if the memories are painful. You can give special things to loved ones and share the stories that go with those things. And if you don't share the stories, then when you're gone, your loved ones won't know the importance of that object, and it will most likely end up in the trash or donated or sitting in a garage sale. You can ask loved ones if there's anything you own that they would like to have. If you're not ready to give up the object at this time, then you know it will go to a good home when you're gone. Dostadning, or Swedish death cleaning, can be done at any age. You don't have to wait until you're old and looking towards the end to review your belongings and clear the clutter out of your life. So how do you go about Swedish death cleaning in your home? You start with the things that don't carry a lot of emotion attached to them. Don't start with photos. You look at each object. You say, is it useful? Am I using it now? Not sometime in the future, but now. Do I like it? Maybe you're going to start in your kitchen and start with things that you just need to throw away. The definite trash, like expired spices, expired salad dressings that are sitting in your drawer of your refrigerator. Check your junk drawer. The flyers that you got in the mail and you don't know why, but a month later they're still sitting on the counter. You get the picture. There are several excellent YouTube videos on this, as well as general decluttering videos. I highly recommend watching Cass at Clutterbug. If you're serious about getting a handle on your house, I will put a link down in the description below for her channel. So why am I talking about this to teachers? Because you spend more time awake in your classroom than you do in your house. So your classroom should be as peaceful of a place as your house, if not more so. It's been proven time and time again that clutter causes stress. When you look around a room after going through the process of Swedish death cleaning, every object you see, as well as the objects you don't see, that are in drawers and closets, they're meaningful and useful to your life right now. So why Swedish death cleaning instead of just decluttering? Because along with the questions you're asking about their usefulness to your life, you need to ask something else. If you leave something in the classroom when you go, will the next teacher want it, use it, or feel burdened because now they have to take care of it? Don't burden yourself, and don't leave that burden for the teachers who come after you. I guarantee that every teacher listening right now has folders of papers shoved into the backs of their filing cabinets or drawers that were there the day they walked into that room on their very first day, however many years ago that might have been. You probably don't know how long those papers have been in your classroom, or how many teachers before you have simply shoved them further and further back into the deep recesses of the desk or filing cabinet drawer. You've had the good intention of going through these files someday and seeing if you will use anything out of them. But be honest with yourself, you haven't used it yet. You haven't missed them. And if you're a new teacher, I'm telling you now, you do not have the time to sit and look through files for one thing you might use one day. It's so much easier to go online, type in a few keywords, Print off the exact things you need for the lesson you are prepping. Okay, I'd bet some of you have folders with copies made using the mimeograph machine, the ones with purple ink. Okay, for those of you too young to know, this was before computers and printers, and the printed papers had this weird smell to them. Okay, looking beyond the folders of worksheets, okay, there's magazines and textbooks from pre-2000 on the shelves. These shelves, if empty, could play a huge part in displaying student work, and we all know how that gets you brownie points in the eyes of the admin. Okay, and science teachers, don't get me started on the organizational catastrophe that is your storeroom. Even if your chemical storage inventory is up to date, the storage is to state code, and SDS can be found in multiple locations, what about everything else that's shoved into that room? Do you have bags or boxes of rotting rubber bands? Do the batteries that you find in every box, drawer, and corner even work? And don't get me started on that box of random markers and pens. Okay, we all have one. What about the rolls or stacks of old posters that you will never hang on your walls? Do you have a plastic bin full of toilet paper rolls that you hope to use one day when you have enough extra time in a class to let your students make a Rube Goldberg machine? When you look at all of these supplies and all of the possibilities contained in these supplies, do you feel guilty because you haven't used them yet? Do you feel like a failure because you just don't have the time to be creative? Do you walk into your storeroom and feel overwhelmed? Do you keep all of your supplies on a single shelf in the storeroom or even a cabinet out in your classroom because you just can't handle looking at the chaos that is your storeroom? Do you feel your pulse quicken and your stomach sink when you simply look at the door to the storeroom? Okay, the hours you spend in your classroom are chaotic enough without inanimate objects making it worse. You need your classroom to play a supporting role in your teaching, not be an obstacle you have to overcome with each lesson you teach. For the new teacher already feeling like they have to prove themselves, this is doubly important. You need to feel comfortable in your surroundings. You need to make that classroom yours. For the experienced teachers who become clutter blind to the ghosts of teachers past, clearing your space will help you relax and breathe. It might just be that space you need to get out of the rut you feel you're in and try something new. The time you save not having to search for things will give you time to catch up on endless mundane tasks required of you and leave you more time for the actual teaching. So you're probably asking how I expect you to do this when you already have no time for the things you're required to do. Okay, do it the same way you eat an elephant, one bite at a time. If you walk past something that you know is useless, don't ignore it. Pick it up and drop it in the trash. The next time you're looking for a pen that works, throw away the ones that don't work. Okay, if you have pens you hate and you know you will never use them, put them in a cup for the students to use and they will take them out of the classroom for you. And that box of mixed markers and pens, just throw them away. Throw them all away. Yes, there are places that will recycle them. And if you have the time and energy to package them up and mail them, that's great. But you haven't done it yet. They are still sitting there on the shelf or on the floor under a table, taking up space and reminding you of things you plan to do and haven't gotten done yet. Just get rid of them. You have so many things that you were expected to do. Your classroom should not make it more difficult to get those things done because you can't find the room to work on a project, or you can't find the supplies that you need, or you do find the supplies you need, but it turns out they're broken, expired, or the box that you thought contained the supplies you need is actually empty and you don't have them at all. Okay, your goal is to get one thing, just one thing out of your classroom each day. It might be that you can actually pull out a file folder and just flip through it and then drop those papers in the recycling bin. It might be that you pull open your desk drawer and you throw away anything that looks like trash. Okay, it might be that the only thing you can do that day is toss the dry erase marker into the trash instead of laying it back on the tray when it runs out in the middle of class. And you know what? That's okay. That is one thing leaving the room at the end of the day. Maybe the art teacher can use those toilet paper rolls. Maybe the social studies teacher can take the piles of newspapers for the papier-mâché globes that their class is making. Maybe stuff just needs to go into the trash. If you were consistent and declutter at least one thing a day, it won't be long before you see and feel a difference. Keep those things that are necessary and or that you like and get rid of the rest. Okay, now if it's something like equipment that your school has on inventory, even if it doesn't work, you can't get rid of it without permission. Okay, and some textbooks may actually fall into this category. If you have the time to shoot off an email to whomever is in charge of equipment, they might actually come to your room and take it out for you. When in doubt, ask your admin or department head. Okay, also, do not overload the trash. The maintenance people are just as stressed as you are, so do not make their job more difficult by packing the trash with a bunch of heavy books. A little at a time is fine, and it will bring the changes that you need to make for your sanity and peace. It is going to be a long year. Some of you just started. Some of us have already been in for almost a month. It's a little crazy how school years work. Okay, but together we can get through this. You have support, and hopefully some of the things that I talk about will help. So, thank you for watching the video. Let me know if you have found it useful, and I will see you next week. Take care.